We're back at the USGP Motocross, and we have had a change in third spot. The ongoing battle between Marnique Bervoets, number 5, and Stefan Everts, number 2. And you see a bobble there by Everts. It was just such a bobble that allowed Bervoets to move back up into the third spot, and they continue to put the pressure on Dowd. Despite the occasional mistake, Everts holding on to a top 5 position, very valuable in terms of World Championship points. I'm beginning to wonder if the issue here isn't whether John Dowd can hold on. Are these two international guys going to get around Dowd? Is he holding them up a little bit?
Well, you know, I think he looks like a little bit of a roadblock right here. I mean, these guys are swapping positions behind him, and they still can't get around. I wonder if they could, if they wouldn't just pull away. But, you know, it's still, that's racing. Dowd is doing a good job of holding him off. And, you know, a second-place finish, like I said before, would be a great performance, and it's going to look good for Team Yamaha.
And I don't see them putting a lot of pressure on him. It's not, they're certainly not, you know, nerfing him to try to get him out of the way. In fact, Bervoets, 4th in the world, a Belgian Suzuki rider, has had his hands pretty well full with Everts thus far. John Dowd doing a good job trying to make a 1-2 American sweep, and that would certainly please the American fans here. In terms of the championship, Bervoets is 15 back on Yves DeMaria, who is 5th on the racetrack and in danger of losing some of the momentum that he's had coming into this event. He's won 2 in a row, but we haven't seen him among the front runners yet. Whole story is this battle right here for second spot.
Well, it's a great battle, but you know what? One thing we got to definitely bring up is the fact that Emig is gone. I mean, he is riding fantastic, and unfortunately, that's not the place to be to get coverage. You know, this is where the battle is, and he's going to be bummed when he sees this.
When you're leading the thing by 5 seconds, they never see you on TV. That's the nature of the business. You stay where the action is, and right now the action is for second spot as Everts continues to hang on in the heat, humidity, and the pain. And Marnique Bervoets hopes to relive the glory of Finland when he scored his first World Championship Moto victory. Once you taste that win, once you know how to do it, then, boy, you start thinking, hey, I'd like to do that every week.
It becomes a little easier once you've done it once. You already have a clear picture in your mind of what it's like, and a lot of these guys visualize things before they actually happen. They think about the races, and if you've already won one, it's a little easier to have that picture in your mind of what it takes.
Bervoets is pulling away a bit from Everts at this moment and trying desperately to get around Dowd. Meanwhile, let's update the progress, if you can call it that, of Greg Albertine. He has climbed back to 10th place, which is where he started. He slipped back to 15th. The World Championship point leader, very much a non-story thus far today at Budds Creek, and he has to be devastated because he's healthy. I mean, he's here with an opportunity to open up the point lead over Everts, and instead Everts is running well in front of him, and Albertine is going nowhere. That's got to be pretty demoralizing.
Yes, it is. There was a time when I broke my wrist and came back to ride a race, and all I really wanted to do was get points, and everybody that was healthy had problems that day. Whether they crashed in the first turn, one guy got a flat tire. I ended up winning the event. So Everts is, you know, he's made a gamble here and tried to ride a race, make some points up, and it's really looking like it's paying off now.
He's doing a terrific job here as the GP stars come to America to try to do something with the Americans, who currently run 1-2. It's Emig and Dowd on the Yamahas up front. We'll be back with the finish of the first moto. We're back at Budds Creek, Maryland. Jonathan Beasley bringing the U.S. Grand Prix to his beautiful Maryland circuit here. The crowd have packed in to watch a pretty good battle here for 5th and 6th. Number 48, Steve Lamson, the American, under a lot of pressure from Yves DeMaria, the Frenchman, who is on a roll. He's got 2 GP wins in a row coming in here, but he's had his hands full all day with Lamson. This battle's been going on lap after lap.
Well, it's getting later in the race, and, you know, usually the Americans have the advantage in this kind of heat over the Europeans, and also Lamson did quite well here during the national championship round on the 125, so he's got this track pretty dialed in.
DeMaria led Lamson for about half the race. Lamson passed him. DeMaria has caught him back up and appears to be trying to make some sort of a late race move. He certainly is counting points. He comes here 3rd in the world and some 59 points behind Everts, but again, with Everts hurt, DeMaria saw an opportunity to perhaps get up to 2nd place in the World Championship. If nothing else, he wants to maintain that momentum. Was that a wave to the crowd, or was he going for a tear-off there?
Yeah, I see him reaching up there. He didn't have enough time. He wanted to reach up. They have like what they call a roll-off, where they pull this string out, and it pulls a film across the goggle lens, like what you see in auto racing when they clear the camera vision. And Hey, following that roost of Lamson so close like that, he's going to have to keep reaching for that to get clear vision.
Well, that's exactly what he's doing, too. He's been riding right in Lamson's roost for a good while. Now you see him trying some different lines, trying to make a pass, and he may have it right here. He takes the inside line. They're handlebar to handlebar over the jump. Lamson will out-jump him and have the inside line as they come to the left-hander at the top of the hill. DeMaria squares it off. Pretty good battle for position.
Sure. Oh, DeMaria right up the inside there. You know, when you square off one corner, just gives you the inside into the next one, and he just muscled his way right through there. Lamson was just riding a little bit too relaxed for that attack from DeMaria.
Lamson left the door open just a crack. DeMaria ran up there and shoved the front wheel in. Here it comes right here.
Yeah, DeMaria had squared the corner off previous to this one, and it gave him the inside line here again, and Lamson just left enough room for him to squeeze through there. That was a nice, strong move by DeMaria.
Kid's good. He's got Roger DeCoster as his coach. He rides the Pepsi-Cola Honda. DeCoster, of course, a legend in American motocross. One of the pioneers who brought the sport to America. One of the first winners in American GP competition. And now we see Jeff Emig en route to an easy moto victory. And I wonder, when that gate dropped, if he thought it was going to be such a piece of cake.
You don't know what to expect. This is his first GP. It's his first time on a 250 outdoors. I mean, there's a lot of firsts here for him today, and for it to have gone this smooth, he's got to be feeling good there on one of those drop waves. He waved to the crowd, and he's just savoring this. There he waves again. Got to feel great. I remember my first Grand Prix at Unadilla. I won the first moto. I didn't win the event, but it's still a very memorable event just from that one moto win.
Now we saw the shot of Steve Butler, Jeff's mechanic, a moment ago. He likes this event because he's not the only guy who talks funny this weekend. Steve is Australian and feels right at home here in this international gathering of motocross talent who are all playing second fiddle to his man, Jeff Emig, today. It's a terrific run for Yamaha as Emig puts the 250 out front. His focus in the National Championship Series is the 125 class. You see those races on the Deuce, ESPN2. Emig has won a couple of races, is fifth in the championship standings. He's a former 125 national champion. But right now, all he's hearing is the cheer of the American fans as they bring him toward the checkered flag. And I suppose he hasn't yet started to think about the regrouping that he's got to do in this heat in anticipation of the second
He's still savoring this victory right here. I mean, you can hear the fans. It's got to feel great. I remember when I won my first GP moto.